difficult time for all of us. Kids can no longer be in school. They miss seeing their friends. They're home. Parents are often home also, some of them trying to work at home to both do their jobs and be parents and be teachers. So lots of time there's a lot of feeling for everybody of loss, of grief, anxiety, and frustration. And we'd like to share with you some tools that you can use both for yourself and with your children to deal with some of these feelings. The first one is called the finger holds to manage emotions. So using your hand, each of your finger represents a certain emotion. Your thumb represents grief, sadness, strong emotions, tears. Your index finger represents fear, terror, panic. Your middle finger, anger and rage. Your ring finger, anxiety, preoccupation, worry. And your small finger is your finger of self-esteem, for when you feel like you're not being able to do anything right or nobody loves me. Now for your children, you might want to have them put their hands on a piece of paper, trace their fingers, and then label each of the fingers with the emotion that it represents. This will help them begin to identify what they're actually feeling, because lots of times both adults and children don't know exactly what they're feeling. They can also color the finger with the color that represents the emotion that they're feeling. And then once you have that done and you're working with these, the protocol is that you hold the finger, and this is my thumb, which is my finger of tears and grief and loss, and you breathe out that emotion and you breathe in a sense of well-being. And when you finish with that finger, then you can move to the next finger, which is the finger of fear, and you can breathe out any fear that you're feeling and breathe in a sense of well-being and safety, and so on through the fingers. So you can do all the fingers at once so that you're releasing and managing all your emotions, or in the moment you can hold the finger that you need. For instance, if your child does something that makes you angry, you can simply hold your middle finger and breathe until you calm yourself enough to be able to talk to the child and discuss whatever's going on. When you're teaching your children these, you may not want to put a lot of emphasis on the breathing, but simply on the holding of the finger and sitting quietly, because the emotion will release and balance itself. We also have some other tools that we'd like to share with you, and that's the holding of various acupressure points for grief and anxiety and sadness. And the first one of those is right between the eyebrows. Okay, you can use your index finger or your thumb, and you just hold for a minute or so, breathing in and out and feeling the emotion again recede. Often for children, the anxiety they feel shows in their stomach. I've got a tummy ache, Mom. My tummy hurts. To help with this, you can use 3 fingers of each hand, and you place them under the cheekbone. You can lean forward because it's just easier to do. And again, they just need to lean into it and breathe. And slowly it will help the anxiety to quiet. Another one is you can take your hand, run your finger down the side of your small finger into below the wrist, and there's a little indentation, and you can hold that and breathe. And you can lay your hand down so nobody knows that you're holding this. So you can be talking to somebody and also dealing with the emotion at that time. Another one is, and this is especially good for kids because it can be fun to do, and that's to find 2 points which are at the socket, just in from the socket of the arm socket, okay? And they're generally tender, so you can find them easily. And with kids, you can just pretend that you're a butterfly, and so you just tap back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back And so you can get the kids sitting doing that, and that will again help to deal with the feelings of anxiety and grief. There's another one for this, and that's called actually the Sea of Tranquility, and it's right in the center of the breastbone. And again, you're not holding with a lot of force, but simply holding and breathing. I'd like to share one more, and that's in case of meltdown, when someone's really overwhelmed. And this is right beneath the nose, in that little indentation between the nose and upper lip. And this is actually called a crisis point. And you can hold it for somebody else if you need to, but you can also teach them to hold it for themselves when they're feeling like just overwhelmed, that everything's coming down on them, a meltdown. They can just hold this. And one thing you can also do for your children that might be a meltdown is one hand on the forehead, the other hand cupping the base of the skull. And again, breathing deeply. And one final thing I'd like to share is sometimes when you have a child that's very, very upset and really crying, something you can do is simply laying your hands on their shoulders. Okay? And this will help to calm them. So we hope this will be helpful for you as you're dealing with this situation that none of us has ever had to deal with before. And we hope it will help you help your children so that they live feeling more, not so much in control, but more able to manage whatever comes their way.